Welcome everyone. So today we are going to go through the session on essay preparation, right, of the essay guidance program, and this session is primarily to do with how to write a good essay, how we can write a good essay. Now in this session we will be dealing with very precise things, and the first of the things will be why write essay or why prepare for the essay paper. Alright, the first thing that we'll discuss is why write an essay or why prepare for the essay. These things are also very significant. Then choosing the essay topic. The choice of the essay topic also makes a lot of difference. We'll take that. The third will be do's and don'ts for the essay choice. What essay we choose, there are certain list of do's and don'ts. We'll go through them. Fourth will be the brainstorming your essay. How we'll brainstorm for developing the content of the essay. Alright. Then fifth, writing a good introduction. How should we introduce our essay? Getting the body right. The body part of the essay, conclusion. It is said that all is well that ends well. So how we can write a good conclusion. Then eighth point is sentence construction and language. You must have heard this jargon multiple times that language competency is poor, sentence construction is poor. Alright, so we'll get into what is good sentence construction, what is language competency in this, so that these jargons make sense to you. And if you follow my approach, I will say that avoid any sort of jargons. What we will is, if we simply understand some best practices, we will anyway do well. Then ninth is how to deal with philosophical essays, because they have been asking since 2016. If you see, philosophical essays have been dominating, and last year again we had philosophical essays. So we'll go through them. And the last thing, we'll end the session with why people get less marks in essay paper. Alright, this is the broad agenda of this talk that we are having. Alright, so let us begin. I will try to make sure that I wind up this session within 40-45 minutes, but it may get extended. Alright, so let us begin. The first thing is choosing the essay topic. Alright, no, the first is, yes, I would like to begin. The first is with why essay, why prepare for the essay. Yes, why prepare for the essay topic, essay itself. Alright. Why essay preparation? This is important to know, especially for first timers. Generally people who have given a few attempts, they know this, but first timers, please, there are a few things that we want to point out. One is the obvious facts that essay marks range from, they can range from even 70 marks, sometimes 75 marks, the lowest that we have seen, and it can go up to 165 marks. Forum IAS Academy student only, I think Apurva. Alright, so this is the range in which we get marks out of 250. So this is a great differentiator. Alright, not only selection depends on this paper, cadre will depend on this paper, service which you will get will also depend on this paper. That is one reason why we should give it due attention. Apart from general studies, if you see general studies papers, barring a few years, the marks will be ranging between 90 to 110. This is the range. So technically the differentiator is very less in general studies papers. But if you see the essay paper, Raja or Rank, the prince and the pauper, marks difference is very huge. Alright, marks difference is very huge. So therefore if you do nothing, and if you are not able to impress the examiner, and if you end up making some mistakes, impressing the examiner is different thing, but if you end up making some mistakes, we range not exactly 70-75, that is an extreme case, but 90 wala case is very common. 90 marks is a very common thing, and here if you do a good job, I would not say 165 is common, but I'll say at least 155 tak, yeah, 150 plus score is to some extent achievable. Anything above 145, 150 is a good score. So this, do you see that amount of effort that, let us say, we have put in general studies paper 1 is going to be very high, but the marks range is not so much difference. Whereas this, if we put the right impact, if we have the right impact, the marks difference is there. Alright, so therefore we must prepare and give it some time. The second is why you should prepare for essays, and the most important reason is कि UPSC Civil Services Mains Examination essay paper, there is some technique with it. I mean, I will honestly say that it is not like a regular essay that you write. You could have won a world competition in essay writing, but if you come to the civil services mains examination essay, if you write an essay there, you may not be able to do very well. Secondly, let us say you are coming from a very English medium ICSE board. We have very good English, and therefore there is a feeling that I will go and do magic in the essay paper because I have been all throughout good in English language, and I have been all throughout been appreciated by my teachers for getting very good essay marks. So again, you may be in for a unpleasant surprise here, because suddenly what may happen is, despite the best of language skills, despite the best of knowledge and writing skills, you may not be able to score very good marks in the essay paper of civil services mains examination. Alright, a civil services mains examination, it is a little on the trickier side, and there are certain best practices and certain extreme don'ts that if you do it, it will not fetch marks. So we have to know those things. Then thirdly is that earlier a very common thing was that you did not require a separate preparation for essay. Pehle, way back like 2012, 13, 14, 15, you don't need to prepare for essay. Why? Why do you not need to prepare for the essay? Because nobody is preparing for it. Alright, because nobody is preparing for it. So when do we, so these things become like a game theory. If others are doing it, we also have to unfortunately do it. Alright, and also because there is also a big difference between the kind of effort people put. Right, so I always quote the example of one of my former students. He got a single digit, not a single digit rank, but let's say 10th rank in the civil service examination. So when he came, he was addressing a group of people in the offline center in Delhi, and then he told everyone very nicely that there is no need for special preparation for essay is not required. I did not do anything different for the essay. And then when he comes down to me, he says, sir, these are 60, 70 pages notes that are for essay that I have made, and I have put it on the blog also, but this is separate. Please share it with deserving students. So I told him that just write outside, you have secured, in top 10 ranks in the civil service examination. Just write outside, you are addressing the people, and you are saying that I didn't do any separate preparation for civil services essay paper, and now you are having these 70 pages notes on essay, collection of quotes, facts, and all these things. So his reply was something that amazed me. He said, sir, this 30, 40, 50 pages notes, sir, I think everybody makes it who's even preparing for the civil services examination. I said, no, please do not be misguided here, because some people will listen to you, and what they will do is they will actually, you said that I have not done anything special for the essay paper, but right in front of my eyes, I have seen you write at least 6 or 8 essays in forum itself. I have seen you write for the past year. I have seen you write 8 essays, which means that at least 24 hours, proven hours of writing has been given by you for the essay paper. That time we had 6 essays. So at least 18 hours of essay writing has been, done by you. So therefore, that is some effort which the people who are following you will think that he has actually done nothing, and some of them actually मुंह उठाकर चले जाएंगे ऐसे लिखने के लिए. And there are people who score very well in that also, just by writing having a very fresh perspective, as long as they do not make some basic mistakes. So we have increasingly seen that the effort that is put by students is there in the essay paper, including making own notes, and these can be taken from coaching notes, whatever sources you are following, but there has to be certain effort. So there are 3 primary reasons why I say that this paper requires preparation. One is that the undue weightage that is given to this paper, not undue, but the due weightage that has been given to it. Alright, there is not just the weightage is 250 marks as much as GS, all the 4 GS papers, and equal weightage with respect to the optional papers. Not only that, but in effective marking, this has a wider impact. In effective marking also, if you see, you get more marks, the marks variation is very much there. Alright, and of course the amount of preparation that your peers are putting in. So this is not exactly a fear of missing out, this is simply a call for studying, and that cannot be called, call for studying cannot be called a fear of missing out. Alright, but yes, if you're not studying, you are missing out on things, that let's be very clear. Alright, so this is not a, I'm not trying to scare you, but what I'm saying is please put some effort in preparation. Alright, so also what I would say is that if you write even at least 3, 4, 5, 6 essays before your mains examination, trust me, it is a low hanging fruit. Even if you cannot ensure the highest marks, which should be to some extent a goal, like getting, if the highest marks is not 165, this is 175, sorry, 175, and the good marks would be, I would say, anywhere above 150, but ideally 160 is something that is achievable. I would not go for 175 marks. but I would say that 160 plus is definitely 165 marks is already giving out. It is a low hanging fruit. मतलब आसानी से हो जाता है. All right. So इसलिए we have to prepare well for this. All right. Now second thing that I want to discuss is, choosing the essay topic. Yes. How do you choose the essay topic? So see here. All right. Yes, choosing the essay topic. So see here. We can broadly say that there are two kinds of essay topics that you will get. One will be tangible essay topics. And the others will be what we call abstract or philosophical essay topics. Alright, these are broadly we can say that these are the two kinds of essay topics that are given, which are tangible essay topics and abstract. And obviously, what I third is some of those what you call is, mixed hybrid. All right. So if we see broadly, these are the various types of essay topics you'll get, but if you see broadly, we can divide into, two kinds broadly. Again, we can say that there is something called subjective topics and something called objective topics. What is something that is subjective and what is something that is objective? Something is objective when more and more people agree on what it constitutes. Something is objective when more and more people agree on what it means, what it constitutes. All right. Then what is a subjective? Something subjective is when large number of people do not agree to a common definition or content of it. Common definition, interpretation of or content, if is not there, then it is a subjective essay topic. Like for example, truth is beauty, beauty, truth. Truth is beauty, beauty, truth. Or change is the end result of all learning. All right. Now something like this, different people will have different interpretations of it. Different interpretations of it. Second is, if you see the content of the essay, there is going to be a very wide variation. All right. Some people may have completely different interpretation of such topics. All right, and the content is also going to be very different. So these topics is what we call subjective topics, and where, let's say, what is ailing India's healthcare? What is ailing India's healthcare? Or the end of globalization. If we have a topic like what is ailing India's healthcare, or second topic is the end of globalization. So do you see that these are very tangible topics? More and more people will have similar ideas. All right, similar, not the same, but similar ideas, and maybe some core ideas will be the same. So these topics is something that we likely call objective. All right, so more and more people will converge on what should be the basic content of a topic like that, or a discussion like that. All right, a discussion on globalization, the end of globalization, or the end of, for example, or the beginning of a new Cold War. Right, so more and more people will have similar arguments, at least some arguments will be similar. All right, so that will be an objective essay topic or an objective discussion, and a subjective discussion is something like truth is beauty, beauty, truth. The content is going to be different. I'm not saying the meaning may be same, but the content is likely to be different. Or change is the end result of all learning. This is going to be a subjective topic. Different people will vary on their content. Subjective topic, comes up and matches to the abstract or philosophical essays, and the objective essay topics match up to the tangible essay topics. How to choose an essay topic now? All right. So one thing is there that if you see now, UPSC, the commission is requiring us to compulsorily write abstract topics also, or philosophical topics. So we have to be prepared for that. But earlier also there used to be a mix of, since the past 10 years if you see, earlier also there used to be a mix of these subjective and objective essay topics. What we have seen is that the marks variation in subjective topics is very high. You could end up getting very high or very low marks, that happens. All right, but generally the bias, the average marks in subjective essay topics, what we have seen has been on the lower side. all right, which when students come up to us and we say that what is the marks you have gotten, then we try to correlate it with the topic he has chosen. For some reason, we have seen that people who have written on subjective topics averagely, all right, when I'm making that, I'm making a generalization. Generalizations do not, while they apply to most of the cases, they do not apply to every single case. All right, when I use generalizations, while they apply to a majority of the cases, they do not apply to every single case. There is a very subtle difference here. All right, so if I say a generalized thing, then what happens is we have seen the subjective essays versus objective essays. If you have written objective essays, you end up averagely getting more marks. All right, and second is there is an inherent protection. Minimum marks will not go very less. The minimum marks will not go very less. But in subjective essay topics, there is the challenge of that the minimum marks may go very less. This happens, like people end up getting for some reason score of 90, 95 also. This is what happens. All right. So when we choose an essay topic, it is what we'd say is, you know, the risk to reward ratio is higher in subjective topics and it is lower in the objective topics. So if you have a choice, all right, we should prefer to some extent objective topics, subject to the condition that we have very high language fluency, then we can go for philosophical topics. But broadly, if possible, we'll go for objective topics. This is the best practice, but not a hard and fast rule. All right, if we have a choice. The second is that when we choose a topic, we should try to choose a topic on which we have read substantially or we have come across something on it substantially. All right, we have read something on it substantially. When I mean substantial, I do not mean you have read an editorial article on it. All right, that is not something that has to be done. Let's say you have read Poor Economics and you have an essay on poverty. It is very likely that you will be able to come up with at least 2-3 new dimensions to poverty. Right, reading, you know, for example, this essay topic was there, poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. So if you have read Poor Economics, you can come up with some beautiful arguments from there. If you have read Sapiens by Yuval Harari, you will have a lot of arguments across any topic. Any topic is asked. If you know Gandhi, Marx, and I would also add Yuval Harari to the list. If you know something about them, then any essay topic becomes, you will be able to add dimensions. All right, so while choosing a topic, make sure that you read the essay topic at least 2-3 times. 2 से 3 बार essay topic को पढ़िए and then make up your mind. All right, and if possible, go for an objective topic. Among the objective topics, go for something where you have read substantially. All right, where you have said some. All right, here the role of what I would say is read the essay topics. So what happens is sometimes what we do is that we have read something and then we immediately jump to it that this is what I'm going to write. All right, this is what I'm going to write. All right, so I would say that while you should go for your intuition, all right, you must go for intuition. Intuition is a good determinant. Intuition or gut feeling is a good thing. Our biggest survival weapon, intuition or gut feeling. Always you can resort to it. You can resort to it. However, let the intuition pick up or this gut feeling come after 2-3 times reading the essay topic. All right, so that you do not have one of the key, at least in do's I will say, is read 2-3 times. Essay topics ko padhiye. You read it 2-3 times. The second is do not have a eureka moment. Eureka moment has to be avoided very clearly. What is the eureka moment? Archimedes was given us to solve a problem and by the king, he could not solve it. All right, and he was thinking and thinking, and once he was taking bath, he was bathing in his bathtub and he was not wearing any clothes. And he was taking bath in his bathtub and suddenly the solution occurred to him. All right, suddenly the solution occurred to him, and this may be happening with you as well. Suddenly the solution struck him and he had found the solution to a problem that he had been thinking for a very long time. What did Archimedes do? He came out of his bath, running to the king's court without wearing any clothes, shouting Eureka, or I found it. All right, he had discovered the principles of Archimedes' principles of flotation. And he was not wearing any clothes and he ran to the king's court without wearing any clothes, shouting Eureka, or I found it. please avoid a eureka moment in the paper. A rational, well thought out choice is always better than a eureka moment. You have, let us say, read a quotation like honesty is the best policy in school, 10th level somewhere, you wrote an essay. And here you and then after that you have prepared very gruelingly for the civil services examination. बड़ी मेहनत की है, you have worked very hard for the civil service examination, read every topic for 1.5 2 years or maybe 3-4 months, whatever is the duration, and you have very good topics, health, education, nutrition, some of those topics have come, technology, all right, all these things have come, you are very aware with it, and then suddenly what happens is you have an essay topic like honesty is the best policy, in which 6th class you have written an essay. Now you have a eureka moment, array, I have written an essay before without realizing that it was nearly half a decade or a decade ago. So if you do something like that, all right, and you have a eureka moments do not yield very good results as far as the essay is concerned. Isko avoid kare. If you have a eureka moment, make sure that you deliberate upon it very well. You will have to give at least 7-10 minutes in finalizing the topics, because once you finalize the topic, one of the worst mistakes that we can make is we have written 2 pages on it, then we cut it and then we choose another topic. That itself is a spoiler. All right, we will not have that much time. All right, so one of the do's is 2-3 times and avoid eureka moment. Another don't is that please, please do not, if you have read an opinion or an editorial on the issue, an opinion or editorial, ये हमारे last में भी आएगा, why people don't get marks. You have read an editorial on the issue, and then you are thinking of picking up your essay topic. Please don't do this with a single editorial. Why? Because the commission invariably requires that multiple dimensions have to be addressed, and I'm not throwing a general catchword here. Proven, it is a proven thing year after year. When people come for marks correction, that sir, I'm the one student with 2-3 years of not getting good marks in essay. All right, when she came up, she was able to improve her marks only because she had the problem of writing only few dimensions or just one dimension of the essay. All right, she would choose something like that. So all right, or if you have read an opinion, let us say you have read an opinion, like let's say you have read an opinion on welfare schemes, you have read an opinion on that how urban Manrega can help. Now what is happening is that your entire essay is about, let's say it is the essay topic is on welfare schemes, and your entire essay is about urban Manrega and you have described it. That is something that will sure shot get us less marks. This is the don't. All right, if you have read a single opinion or editorial. Second is that if it is a copy paste work from one single source, if these things are there, copy paste from one single source, अगर कहीं एक article से आपने सारा ऐसे लिखा हुआ है, it won't fetch marks. Why I am saying this is, see, you have read a beautiful article which has 2 or 3 beautiful arguments, and you are making those arguments as the whole of your essay. While those arguments look very logical and they appeal to your intellect very much, what is likely to happen is I as an evaluator have just read several essays and have found number of dimensions to the issue that have equal appeal before me. All right, and when you are writing an essay with a strong opinion, all right, based on a single editorial, I am seeing a poverty of ideas, of all sorts of poverties. The poverty of ideas is the worst form of poverty. All right, so I see a poverty of ideas while you think it is a brilliant point because you have quoted Sen and you have wrote on justice completely from Sen's article. All right, so please make sure that you do not make an essay choice of the topic should not be based on reading a single editorial or a single author. That cannot be our choice. All right. So before choosing the essay topics and these do's and don'ts, 2-3 times you read it, avoid a eureka moment. Single opinion or editorial articles usko avoid karenge. If you have read multiple articles, it's a fairly good thing, especially a counter view. All right. Then the next thing that we do is, now the fourth point is brainstorming for the essay. This is extremely important. If you begin brainstorming, a good thing that which I would ask you to do is, if possible, if you are carrying a pencil, ये कर लो थोड़ा सा, make a brainstorm all the ideas, whatever ideas or keywords that you can think with it. Use a pencil, carry a pencil, and secondly, please rough work, do the rough work. All right, you will get a place for rough work. You can use it in the designated place. Rough work designated place में करिए, or you can use the last page. Last page, not of the essay booklet, but of each topic. ऐसा ना हो कि first there will be 2 topics, right? All right, So if you are doing the rough work of the first essay topic, you do it in the designated place. If you need more space, do it at the end of the first essay topic, and second essay you do it at the end of the second essay topic. Don't do this mistake that you are doing the rough work at the end of the second essay topic and you have done 5 pages of rough work and now you don't have space for writing the second essay. Less space, don't do this, all right? And do not cross it. Cross mat kariyega isko. As in just cross the rough work, but don't erase it. Cross the rough work, do not erase. Erase nahi karna hai. Let us not erase it. Hard work, let it be seen. See, an evaluator will always, there is always a tendency, a paternalistic tendency in the evaluator to give marks to the person who is working hard, putting a lot of effort. Aapka rough work hai, your rough work is there. It is likely that okay, if you have written a very pathetic essay, sometimes we end up, तो rough work देख कर भी क्या होता है, minimum number थोड़ा बढ़ा देते हैं. The minimum marks that we are supposed to be given, that marks increases. We have seen this. Do not erase this if you are doing it with a pencil. Now second is the analysis has to be there. So please think of what are the quotes that you can think from it. What are the quotes? What are the ideas? What are the books? What are the thinkers? What are the editorials that you can remember? All right. What is the all these things, try to recall. Water, water everywhere, not a drop of water to drink. All right, try to remember any facts. How much of the earth's surface is water? All right, try to recall the facts, the quotes, any books that you've written, any thinker, any editorials. Try to recall these. One, please, this year at least you try to do this very much. We have increasingly seen number khub mile hain. Try to, those of you who are very have a hobby of watching movies. All right, movies. Try to remember any movie. All right, try to remember any movie. You have read NCERT properly. In NCERT, you will always have that in popular culture there was a film called Naya Daur, where the protagonist played by Dilip Kumar. Yes, there was a new machinery had come, and therefore there was a fight between man and machine. All right. So let us say in popular culture, think of popular culture and don't go for Japanese anime and all those things, don't give such examples. In popular culture, all right, think of it and don't write hero Akshay Kumar. Don't write like this, you write the protagonist, and try to recall the name if possible. Don't write that in the hero Akshay Kumar or the hero Amir Khan did this, Amir Khan ne ye kiya. For example, if you are writing on a women's issue, what is one, and why I am saying this is, this will give you a good fodder. Examiner ko bhi maza aata hai. As an examiner, I also feel good if you have quoted from a movie, I can relate to it. And isliye, if possible, Hindi movies, Bollywood movies, if you can quote something from there. For example, you are writing an essay on women's issues. Now, can you recall, everybody has watched Dangal movie by Amir Khan. So don't write that the hero Amir Khan did this. You try to write something like this in popular culture. In popular culture, the feature film Dangal. In the feature film Dangal, the protagonist Mahavir Singh Phogat wants to have a male child who can win him a gold medal at wrestling. All right, Mahavir Singh Phogat in Dangal movie, what does he want? He wants a male child so that he can train him and ensure a gold medal in wrestling. He wanted a gold medal because he could not win it, so therefore he wanted a gold medal in wrestling for his male child. But what happens is, destiny has something in store for him. He keeps having female children until a point of time. Mahavir Singh Phogat, played by Amir Khan, wo likhna hai to likh do, but Amir Khan does this, ye mat likhiyega. Don't write that Amir Khan is doing this. Until Mahavir Singh Phogat realizes, and what does he realize in the movie? He realizes one day that gold to gold hota hai, chahe ladki lawe chahe ladka, right? He realizes that a gold medal is indeed a gold medal. Whether a boy gets it or whether a girl gets it does not matter. And then he embarks, and then he starts the journey of training his girl children for wrestling, who end up winning the gold for him. All right, now you have come up with a movie. Movie bhi dekh li, ek paragraph bhi likh liya. You watch the movie also, you've used that knowledge in your essay also. Examiner is also happy that he is applying what he is seeing, and it is also breaking the monotony from dumping a lot of Hindu articles, isn't it? Use this in popular culture. Use all sorts of movies you have watched, you think of it. Use it very much. So think of quotes, think of ideas, books, thinkers, editorials, facts, movies. Also, don't think of your optional subject. ये important है, ये भी 10 नंबर में जाएगा लास्ट में. This will go in the last. Why people get late? Don't think of optional subject. All right, you have an essay on wisdom is truth. Truth is something like this. All right, what you have done is you have quoted Socrates. All right, acceptable. Then you have went on to say how Plato corrected him. Then you went on to say how Aristotle went on to improve him. Now you have written your philosophy optional in your essay. 100% less marks. इसको guarantee कर लो 100% less marks. Don't do this. Political science में you are getting an essay which resembles your political science syllabus. 100% less marks for political science students. 100% less marks for political science students. You have gotten a society wala essay. You have been a brilliant student of sociology and you have written a sociology political perspective. 100% less marks. Major reason why you will get less marks. Please don't put too much knowledge of optional in this. It should be a generalist essay. It should be a generalist essay. Ensure this, please. All right. Then apart from this, these ideas, facts, movies, think of it and don't think of optional subject. Don't put Socrates you can put, Plato you can put, Aristotle you can put. Don't put all the three. You put Socrates, you put Plato, put Aristotle. They are general good Greek philosophers. Anybody can quote them. But if you put all the three, it is irritating for me. You have put from political science, you have put, you have put your favorite thing, one thinker you have put, you start sociology, you are saying Karl Popper, then you are getting into more, more retreated philosophers, all right, about whom the general people without the optional do not know. All right, so even please think of it that an English literature professor should be able to like your essay. All right, so don't put optional subject. ये भी last में जाएगा 10 number point में. Write it down. Why people get less marks. All right. Then another thing in brainstorming, another framework that we'll use is number 3. We will analyze the essay from the political, social, economic, all right, political, social, economic angle है ना, we do that, social, technological, cultural, societal, national perspective, all the things that you can analyze it from. All right, moral. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. From a moral perspective, how should we distribute the water, right? All right, so you can think along these lines. What is not to be done? Because this sometimes what happens is, you have written, let us say there is a call for the reforms the India's education system needs. Now what you are doing is, politically is the beginning of your one paragraph. Socially, what you have to do is, this is not what is needed. Politically, socially, economically, technologically, please don't bore the examiner to death. And since a number of people will be doing it, this is another short way of getting less marks. Number तुम्हारे 20 नंबर तो ऐसे कम हो जाएंगे. Your marks will decrease by 20 marks if you follow this approach. You have to think of the dimension. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. I'm thinking from the political angle. I'm not going to write politically. All right, I'm thinking from a political angle. You can say that water resources, from political angle, it struck me that from the political angle, water is a contentious issues between states and between nations. All right, this is one dimension. From the economic angle, what I have come to know is, water must be treated as a commodity that is scarce in nature, and therefore it should be having a price that reflects its not market value but scarcity value. Not the market value but scarcity value. मतलब water is a natural resource. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है, this does not mean that you will use the entire water of your tapped supply to wash your bike or car. or your balcony, or pipe लेकर you are nehlaying your veranda? No. What is the discourse on water? We say that water should have a price. Why? Should water be free? Yes, water is a natural issue, it should be free. Should it be free? Probably yes. But should we not price it in a way that reflects not its market value? Because if you see, water is something that we need for life. It should be technically the most expensive thing. So we should not price it like that, but we should price it. Why? On the basis of its scarcity value. Kam hai. Fresh water in your tap, kam hai. We can't have fresh water taps for 1.3 billion people just free flowing without a price, and anybody is leaving the tap open. So when you're talking about, let's say, the economic thing, don't say economically. Think of a dimension. All right, think of a dimension that it is important for ensuring that water is not scarce. It is important to add an economic value to water. This economic value should not be determined by the markets, but should be based on principles of A, affordability and availability to all, and B, on the scarcity value, on a value that reflects the scarcity value of water. All right. So you thought from an economical angle. Don't write that economically water. Don't create a heading like that and say that Mr. Ayush Sinha has taught you to write politically, socially, economically. ये नहीं करना है. All right. Think from the technological angle. Think from, for example, the culture. Technologically, don't think from technology and water. All right. You can always think that, okay, from technology you think of, okay, now we are thinking of Mars mission. How can we add it? A point from there. You say, in the introduction or somewhere in the paragraph, you are having a topic, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. You say that when man looks for life on a planet, man looks for water. When man looks for life, or when man started looking for life on Mars, man first looked for water, because water is life and life water. All right, very good introduction or very good paragraph. Here has come technological angle se aaya hai. It has come from the technological angle, cultural angle. Don't write culturally water is a this. Think from a cultural angle, water, and I'm not just talking about this as a topic. Overall, if there is a topic that involves water, for example. All right, so think from a cultural angle. Now, cultural angle, you must have read Premchand, or you must have heard a story, or you must have watched a movie where you would have seen that lower caste are not allowed to fill water from the well of the upper caste. Now don't write, please don't write, socially or culturally. You see that water resources have been a symbol of societal and caste domination in rural India. All right, this is you are picking up from society or you are picking up from culture. All right, that water resources belong to the dominant caste. This monopolization of water resources, owning of water resources is a symbol of the caste and societal domination. And this was the reason why people from lower caste were not allowed to fill up water from the wells of upper caste. All right, Munshi Premchand, in popular culture, Munshi Premchand has written stories, Marmik story, has written, heartfelt stories highlighting the worst form of caste violence that was inflicted upon the lower caste just by denying them water. Just by denying them. You have made a beautiful point. Please don't quote me and say, sir, culturally I have read. Don't do this. We are fed up of seeing. See, in forum, one few things that you will have is your essay will be seen at least by 2 people. 2 log dekhenge. We love to see essay papers. We are book lovers at forum. When we recruit people, we try to recruit book lovers जो पढ़ने लिखने का जिसको शौक है. All right, so we love to read new books. We have internal pages where we discuss what is the latest book you have read, and at least for your mentors for essay, we will go for at least And if you are unhappy with an assessment, please go for a re-evaluation. You will definitely get a second opinion. The whole team will look into your essay because we don't want you to make mistakes. At least for the essay, we are very clear with these things. Thinking from a national perspective, thinking from a moral perspective. All right, all right. Now don't write morally. All right. So this is one framework. Then another framework which I would want you to analyze is and these frameworks is to generate points, to generate arguments for your essay. All right, the another framework that I would like you to analyze is, the third thing is stakeholder framework. Analyze your essay topic or the demand of the essay from different stakeholders, vulnerable groups. All right, women, children. Don't, and please इसमें अच्छा पहले इसको करते हैं. Women कर लिया, children कर लिया. Let us think of Dalits, tribals, disabled groups. 3 साल 4 साल पहले तक we would say differently abled. Now there is a big demand from the differently abled that please do not use terms like differently abled. I do not choose to be differently abled. Please call us disabled, because the term differently abled, the discourse right now, the debate right now is that it conceals, all right, it conceals the inequalities that have been inflicted on them. All right. There's a criticism also. The Prime Minister, he said that we'll call them Divyang. There was, after some time, there was a debate raised that should we call them Divyang? Should we call our brothers who have certain disabilities as Divyang? All right. So women, children, tribals, all right, disabled groups. Then senior citizens. You are writing about social media. All right, you are not able to recall a point. Think that what it is going, the impact it will have on women, but more than that, think that impact it will have on senior citizens. How technology penetration. On transgenders, sexual minorities. All right, on transgender, sexual minorities. All right. Then fourth is this year, isko try kare. This year, try to do this. Think from 2 perspectives. जो आपको बोला है. One is the biggest perspective. Please try to have a Gandhian angle or a Marxist perspective. And in our times, Yuval Harari, what will he say on this? All right, you will not have it for all topics, but at least Marx you will have for every topic. And so Gandhian perspective and Marxist perspective, their literature is so elaborate that I can tell you confidently that a 25th century problem can also be analyzed from a Marxist perspective. Artificial intelligence did not exist during the times of Gandhi or Marx, and today we can have a Marxist perspective on artificial intelligence, the view of the left. Gandhi's use a Gandhian perspective of artificial intelligence, elaborate literature. And Yuval Harari, again, he is no equal in these, but he is a very dominant thinker of our times. We do not recognize his contribution so much, but eventually, let's see. So try to think if you can read one of 2-3 interviews of Yuval Harari. Iske number mil jayenge aapko. Increasingly, we are seeing this. All right. All right. Then the 5th perspective from which you will try to generate content or body for your essay is that what can you do to improve. All right. इसको मिटा देते हैं, थोड़ा लाल कलम से लिख लिया जाए. All right. 5th perspective is suggestions or reforms. Suggestions on reforms. What can be done? All right. So what can be done? If it is about water, what are the suggestions that you can have? Any topic. All right. Let us say there is a topic that a topic that has the word happiness. Happiness lies in service to others. All right. Can we think of a perspective like how can we serve others better, and how can we be happy? Can we think of some suggestions or some reforms? Anything? So something that is what I call the solution framework. You have noted down all the problems. This solution framework is very important. Solution framework भी थोड़े से डालिए. All right. So try to do this. So this is your brainstorming. All right. Once you have brainstormed, you will have a number of ideas. It is from these ideas that you will move to the next topic, and that is introducing your essay. introduction, introducing your essay. It is from these topics that you will be introducing your essay. Introduction, there are few approaches to introduction. इसको ब्लू कलम से करते हैं. बचपन में चित्रकारी करते थे ऐसे. In childhood we used to do painting. Now with digital revolution these things are happening. One of the ways to, among these things, please don't think of the introduction before. From the brainstorming that you have done, try to think of an introduction. One good way to introduce is the quotations approach. All right, quotations approach, very popular, very time tested approach. It does not have any correlation with high marks or low marks, but it is a standard approach and it is more common than you think. However, it is a good approach. This can be done in two ways. One is verbatim, if you remember. Democracy is a government of the people, for the people, by the people, Abraham Lincoln. All right. Or democracy is the worst form of government except all other forms, Winston Churchill. If you have a topic on democracy, you write the verbatim quote and then you write Abraham Lincoln or whoever your favorite thinker is. All right. You can begin your essay like this, perfectly all right. Let us say you have a complex thought and you don't remember the quote verbatim. If you don't remember, not verbatim, how will you write it? In early 20th or mid 20th century, Winston Churchill famously commented that democracy was the best form of government except all other forms of government. You can begin your opening lines like this. All right. Or for example, you are talking about the ideas of, I am expecting that when you are doing essay writing, there are some of the examples that I may give. It may not resonate with you, but if you have read other parts of the syllabus, essay writing has to be done once you have read at least substantially for the main syllabus. All right, इसको सबसे पहले ना करें, अपने पैसे व्यर्थ ना करें, don't waste your money. You must have read at least some parts of the main syllabus before you go for the essay. Otherwise, neither this discussion nor whatever, nor your practice will make any sense to you. All right. समय भी ना बर्बाद करें, don't waste your time also in writing essays. कि sir, I am decided to become an IAS officer. Okay, that's a very good decision. Sir, I have thought that first I will write an essay. Please don't begin that. पहले prelims की थोड़ी तैयारी करें. Prepare for the prelims, then the mains, and then come to this. Some substantial, at least 40-50% of the syllabus has to be covered before you think of, or at least a year of 6 months of newspaper reading has to be done. So let us say you have, there is a quote on liberty on which you have to write an essay. All right, so now you remember French Revolution, liberty, equality, fraternity, battle cry of French Revolution. This is part of your syllabus, world history, topic number 2, I guess, 2 or 3. All right, paper 1, GS paper 1. So you can always say you do not remember an exact quote. I remember, for example, that when an American journalist famously asked the Chinese premier, all right, the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai. So when an American journalist asked the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai what the impact of French Revolution was, he famously said, "We are yet to discover." All right, so now this is a very simple thing, but it's a very profound thing. It is said that the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai, when he went to United States, and an American journalist asked him that, what do you think is the impact of French Revolution? It is said that he probably did not understand the question, but great men are great men. Their words once spoken become, phenomenal. So he said, "We are yet to find out." So he said something like this, and now it becomes very revolutionary. Why? Because 1789, that's the time period around which the French Revolution, 1700s was the time when the French Revolution happened. All right, and nearly 200 years after the French Revolution, when the Zhou Enlai, the Chinese premier, was asked what is the impact of French Revolution, when he says we are on humanity, he says we are yet to discover, which means that the impact of the French Revolution would carry on for hundreds of centuries on humanity and the way we think, the way we conceive of organizing our society. for the next few hundred years, it will be impacted by the ideals of French Revolution. All right. If you see this entire world, what is it? What are the political systems? The political systems are ways and means to organize the society based on certain principles and ideals, isn't it? All right. So now if you do not remember the verbatim, you say famously said. Gandhi famously said. All right. You don't remember the exact quote of Gandhi. All right. You don't remember what he said, but you remember something. You begin with Gandhi famously said that we must be the change that we want to see in the world. All right, that Gandhi famously said, sometime in the 20th century, early 20th century, Mahatma Gandhi famously said that we must be the change we want to see in the world. He went on to win freedom for South Asia. Freedom for South Asia, entire South Asia, don't say India only, okay, entire South Asia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, all right. So the entire South Asia, you can say for all practical purposes. Okay, Nepal, Bhutan, they are separate. All right. So you can say who won freedom for the nation. All right. So you begin with something like this. Introduction, quotation is a good approach. The second approach is anecdote. Because of forum, this approach has become too much popular. Why I am saying because of forum, not because of toppers, is that when we started MGP and also we used to give a lot of examples of anecdotes. The students adopted it, then they wrote their own anecdotes. All right, I remember one particular student long back, Mitali Sethi was there. She had written a Sita Gita wala story in anecdote, and then she came to forum. She did this, but their blogs and all, they inspire, and then it becomes very popular next year, and especially with, I think, rank 1 also, former rank 1 2017. So begin with an anecdote. And what is an anecdote or a story? So you can say, let us say there is an issue on gender empowerment, women, all right, or gender injustice. You can begin your essay with, or for example, yes. So you can, let us say you want to highlight the point that women face the social arrangements in our society operate to a disadvantage of women. You want to highlight the fact that the the society works towards the disadvantage of women or social arrangements. So you are trying to give the example of, let's say, Sita and Geeta. Sita is a poor girl born in a village and stays there. Geeta is a girl that is born on the same day and time as Sita is born, but in a city. She is given education. She works in a multinational company. All right, so you can begin with an anecdote that Sita, in 1970, June 29, Sita and Geeta were born. Sita was born to a poor farmer in, think of one of the poorest areas, like for example in Maharashtra, you have Vidarbha region. All right, Geeta is born in Mumbai to a posh family. All right, when Sita is born, there is hue and cry in the family because the girl child was born. When Geeta was born, there was celebration in the family because she was born as the only child of a wealthy merchant of Bombay. All right, so you begin with this anecdote. Sita does not get to see school. However, she indulges in agriculture with her partner and her husband and has 2 children. Geeta goes on to have higher education and works in a multinational company. All right, and is married to a wealthy person. You have come up with certain story like this. Sita and Geeta represent the 2 Indias that exist in our society. One India, that is Bharat, right? That lacks opportunities of equal opportunity for all people, and Geeta represents the new India, which provides opportunities, but only to a few people. All right. So let us say you begin your story like this. Somewhere, so this is an anecdote that you begin, and you are talking about, let's say, women, or you are talking about, let's say, poverty or inequality. You have begin with these 2 women. Somewhere down the line, you can see that while Sita has to do manual labor in fields, कड़ी धूप में खेती का काम करना पड़ता है. Geeta, with her high-profile degree from the Western University, also has an equal burden. Not only she has to run the household, but she also has the added responsibility of doing office work. The entry of women in office may have financially liberated women. The entry of women into offices may have financially liberated women and empowered them. However, it comes with a double whammy of balancing the work at home as well as the work at office. Don't you see this problem? Women who are working, they don't have to only do office work. घर का भी काम करना है. No matter हाउ वेल्दी यू आर, घर का भी काम करना है और ऑफिस का भी काम करना है, घर भी चलाना है, बाहर भी चलाना है, राइट? यू हैव टू डू होम household work as well as outside work, double burden of work. So can we say that entry of women and education has liberated women, new forms of unliberties, isn't it? So let's say you can begin with an anecdote, all right, or you can anecdote you can remember like Maharana Pratap. He was sitting in a cave, defeated but not devastated, and he saw a spider try to climb up a wall, or an ant try to climb up the wall. It used to fall, and yet it used to make an attempt until it reached a point where it climbed the wall. It was this inspiration from the ant or the spider, whatever it is. You know, the spider falling and climbing the wall again. It was this incident of Maharana Pratap that gave him the courage. You can give Maharana Pratap, you can give a king was sitting, you know, a defeated king was sitting in a cave thinking of his, you know, the lost kingdom. All right. So this you are writing on courage, and you can come up with an anecdote like this, or you can come up with some anecdotes like from current affairs. All right, you can do this. Then the third approach is the definition approach, which we have also again made very popular, which has been duly documented by my students from CSE 2017. That year we had first rank, third rank, fifth rank, 7th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 14th, all these rank holders. So definition approach. This definition approach says, the philosophy behind this definition approach is that, we simplify the topic to an extent that it lures the examiner into reading it. It lures the examiner into reading your essay. All right, so if there is an essay on science and technology, we try to write that science is the body of knowledge that believes in universal principles. All right, and technology is the application of those principles to build devices or machines that make our life easy. Right? If I and you are communicating, it is through a technology called the internet that is making our lives easy. It is through a camera that is recording it, isn't it? So you begin like this. If you're talking about judicial activism, you are talking about judicial activism is the phenomenon when judges go beyond their stated duties and responsibilities to pass judgments based on personal conviction, going beyond the law, right? That is judicial activism, going beyond your stated duties and responsibilities. So you've defined the term. All right, if you're writing an essay, so you know, so you can come up with a definitional approach also, simplify the term. All right, so you can have this approach. Then there is also another approach which you called the scenario approach. I still remember, those of you who are from the forum community, there was a member. There are two Dhruvs, both have gone into foreign service only. One was Dhruv Mishra, another was Dhruv Mittal. Both my students, I saw them for 2 years. So I remember that he had sent me a message on the forum community, but he had sent a message ki this was the scenario. I have tried to implement whatever approach you have given 3-4 years back. He was very active on the forum. I happened to come and meet him. He happened to come and meet me, sorry. So I met him, otherwise I have communicated with him. So scenario approach is something, you know, where there is a generally in science and tech, where we try to present a scenario, a futuristic perspective that we try to give. For example, you can give us, you know, a scenario approach in science and tech essay. Let us say you have an essay on cyberspace. थोड़ा सेशन लंबा चलेगा, इसलिए आराम से बैठो, get your cup of tea, cup of coffee and get some water. All right, थोड़ा लंबा चलेगा ये सेशन. आज पढ़ाने का बड़े दिन बाद मौका मिला है. Today, after a long time, gotten an opportunity to teach. So I don't want to dump it all on you, but this is important. Let us say you have a topic on cyberspace, cybersecurity. You talk about a scenario that the year is 2020. Okay, now 2020 has come and gone, so we'll not use. Let's say the year is 2030, 10 years from now. All right, we never thought 2020 will come. It went. We lost so many people, and it went back. Right now we are in 2021. All right, so let us say we are talking about 2050. The year is 2030 or 2050. All right, the Home Secretary or the Home Ministry receives a message that making a ransom call, an amount of $1 billion in Bitcoin is demanded from the Home Ministry into a certain anonymous account, failing which the cyber terrorists warn of crippling the national economy. At first, the government fails to pay serious heed to it. At 12:15 or 10:15, the satellite, the GPS system is compromised because of loss of link of the satellites from the Earth stations. This has led to chaos on the roads as GPS enabled devices and GPS enabled cars are unable to move in the right direction. Within minutes, a call from the Bombay Stock Exchange says that all trading has halted because of a serious data breach. The Home Ministry receives a message from the Unique Identity Authority of India chairperson saying that the Aadhaar database has been wiped clean and no records of the citizens exist anymore. You have tried to paint a doomsday scenario. The above scenario, by evening, the banking sector is in a chaos, the Sensex has crashed, GPS systems are not working, and practically every weapon that uses the satellite system is defunct like a toy because of this cyber disruption. All right, this is the first paragraph. This is the scenario, you painted a doomsday scenario. This day is not far. All right, this day is not far given the deep penetration of the internet, our dependency on it, and if we lack the preparedness for having a robust cyber defense system. And this, you have begun your cyber warfare or cyber technology or IT or AI, whatever is your topic, you have started writing an essay. You have a topic on feminism. All right, and this was an example I quoted way back also, that the year is, the 22nd century. We are in the 21st century right now. So the 22nd century is marked with a massive reform for which women groups have been fighting for hundreds of years. The United Nations has passed a resolution mandating member nations to make it mandatory for women, to make it mandatory for the removal of uterus from females or from women. This is because gender rights group argue that gender inequality, the last bastion of gender inequality, is the female uterus, because that assigns the unequal role of bearing the childbearing role is assigned to the women because of that organ, and by removal of that organ, perfect gender equality can be established. All right, so this was the example which I was saying was 17 student, foreign service mein hai ye. So he came up and said, I have begun my essay like this. He's quoted in the private message par bheja tha usne. Later he got a rank, so that is why I remember this. So an era of gender equality and gender justice has just been, has just emerged with the passing of this this resolution in United Nations. All right, women would no longer now have the burden of bearing the child. There would be, babies would now be born in a test tube. All right, the year is the first decade of 22nd century. All right, so you have painted a scenario that this day is not far when technological advances will make this possible. All right, however, does this truly liberate women, or does this usher in true gender equality? So you have come up with an essay topic like this. All right, so this was one of the, so you can create a scenario and begin your essay like this. You can create a scenario and begin your essay like this. All right, or you can have, let us say you are talking about poverty, universal basic income. You can talk about, again, the year is 2050. You can say that people no longer have to work, and competing democracies across the globe provide a universal basic income. All right, everybody gets a certain income. So you can paint a scenario like what is happening is Ram wakes up one day and he has the money in his account. He has no work to do. All right, machines have taken over the work, and he gets a regular allowance from the government to sustain. His relevance in the society is, however, not reduced because he has one vote which can change the government. All right, so therefore, so these are some of the ideas that you can begin your essay like this. Now coming to this, so this is how you can introduce. You can introduce by a quotation, an anecdote, a definition, a scenario. Also these days a very popular is you begin with a fact or a figure. Fact or figure. 29% of all people, 70% of Indian farmers, 70% of India's population indulging in agriculture, 16% contributing, whatever is the fact. You can begin with a fact or figure also. This is also a good approach. These days, what I'll honestly tell you is that facts and figures have been fetching marks. हमारे बच्चे जिनके नंबर आ रहे हैं, I am seeing that they are increasingly very good with facts and figures. They have increasingly focused on this. All right, so these are the 5 approaches to introduce your essay. How you will get this approach? You will get this approach when you do the brainstorming, right? Now let's come to the next 6th part, the body part of the essay. Very simply, 3-4 बातें बताना चाहूँगा. I'll try to tell you 2-3 things. After the introduction, you can either move in a flow, you can move your narration, in a flow, you know, you can argue, you can, or there is another approach which I say is that please divide whatever is your essay topic, divide it into 4, 5, 6 themes or questions. If there is a question on poverty, last year, poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. Very simple topic. You can ask 4 or 5 questions. What it means, what does it mean to be poor? पहला क्वेश्चन, इसी पर 2-3 पैराग्राफ लिखा. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन है ना, it begets the question that how far are poor responsible for their poverty? How far are poor responsible for their poverty? This essay begets the discussion or begets the questions. And now this discourse, this topic begets the question, it begs the question that how far are poor responsible for their poverty? 3, why India has failed to eradicate poverty after 70 years of independence despite, and 4th is another dimension that you can explore is that does India have a poverty problem or an inequality problem? इन्हीं को आंसर करने में हम अपना ऐसे लिख देंगे. We will try to answer all these dimensions, poverty or inequality. And then you can say, what can we do to fight poverty today? Very simple question. What can we do to fight poverty today? Then you take up these and then you try to answer these questions. All right, 4, 5, 6 dimensions max. खिचड़ी नहीं बना देनी है, 15 क्वेश्चन पूछ लिए और GS का आंसर नहीं बना देना है. Not like a GS answer. All right. In the body, you can ask these questions somewhere. Even if you don't like asking questions, you can always not ask these questions and you can move the flow of your essay accordingly. All right. That what it means to be poor, you address in 1 or 2 paragraphs, then 1 or 2 paragraphs. But you say that, but the poor are not responsible for their poverty. But the poor are not responsible for their poverty. And then you explain what you mean to say. A lot of people think that it is the poor who are responsible for their misery and poverty. There are jobs, but the poor simply don't want to work. This is what some people think, right? Then you, this is, and however, and then you come up with a counter argument and you can answer this question, something on these lines. All right, so you ask 4 and 5 questions and you address your answer like this. इसमें एक चीज़ का ध्यान रखेंगे ना, please don't have more than, in these topics, please don't have more than 5, 7, 9 dimensions. Don't do a khichdi. I am saying this because a lot of teachers or a lot of students who are older students, they are carrying on the legacy of pre-2013 pattern. That time we used to have only one essay. जितने पेपर लिखोगे उतने ही नंबर मिलेंगे, ठीक है? Now we have to write 2 essays, and if you are trying to put too many ideas in the essay, making a khichdi, you will not get marks. Please remember that putting too many ideas in the essay right now is not rewarding. Earlier there was only one essay. Right now तुम्हारा 1200 word के आसपास का limit है. All right. That time there was no limit. and people used to write 30-40 pages. In 30-40 pages you write infinite ideas, but in 1200 words, my examiner, I am the examiner, I have to read and process so many ideas. Don't make it a khichdi putting too many ideas also, don't do that, alright. Yes, so this is how you will ask. Then how you begin a paragraph, one of the approaches which I would say is, you know, you make a statement, or what I call paragraph beginning कैसे करना है and कैसे नहीं करना है. How to begin a paragraph, alright, begin and not begin. Remember, these rules are to, any rules has to be applied in moderation. Any system collapses because of an excess of its principle. I repeat, any system collapses because of an excess of its principle. Don't do anything in excess. You can begin with, you know, you can, paragraph you're writing, you write a thesis statement. What is a thesis statement? A thesis statement is an assertion. It is an assertion. So you have written a thesis statement saying in agrarian crisis topic is there, agriculture sector का topic है, all right, agrarian crisis. You have written a thesis statement. This thesis statement says that one of the key reasons why farmers remain poor in India is because they do not get a remunerative price. One of the key reasons why farmers remain poor in India is because they do not get a remunerative price. You have given this statement. So this is your thesis statement or your assertion. You are saying that they are not getting remunerative pricing. Now this is, in that paragraph, what my expectation is that you justify your statement. Why you are saying that they are not getting and what is the reason? Why you are saying they are not getting remunerative pricing? What is the reason for not getting remunerative prices? That is what your rest of the paragraph can be, or the next 2-3 paragraphs can be. Alright, please do this. Or you are going to, any topic you are make an assertion or a thesis statement, follow it up with your logical arguments. Alright, they are not, why are they not getting remunerative prices? Firstly, that there is an overall slump in global food prices. Then there is the problem of excess production without having adequate capacity of storing it by the Food Corporation of India. And thirdly, while minimum support price is announced, it is not matched by actual procurement. Actual procurement नहीं हो रही है, MSP announce हो गया, actual procurement नहीं हो रही, for whatever reason. ठीक है, so now you have justified that why you are saying they are not getting the prices. तो पहले बोलोगे कि ज़्यादा पैदावार ज़्यादा हो रही है, खरीदार कोई नहीं है ना? Food is not having elasticity in demand. If you get cheaper rice, you will not end up eating 2 plates of rice. Though we all have friends like that, है ना? सबके दोस्त ऐसे हैं कि चावल थाली की प्राइस कम हो गई तो डबल खा लिया. So we all have friends like that. Sometimes if we are not have friends like that, then we are those people, है ना? So food does not have that elasticity of demand or with respect to, you know, the elasticity with respect to the price. Anyway, so my point is, you do this, all right. Then another approach in the body that you will do is, paragraph में, what you will not do is that in every paragraph you are saying, however, notwithstanding these connectors, this is very commonly taught by teachers, notwithstanding, therefore, इसको मत करो, examiner sees a pattern की coaching में सिखाया गया है ये. That in every paragraph you are writing, however, therefore, notwithstanding, similarly, where there is a natural flow, do it, but do not overdo it. That in every line you have written, every paragraph you are beginning with notwithstanding, therefore, however, connectors. No overemphasis on connectors. Yes, there should be connectors, but don't have every paragraph such that I'm knowing it, oh God, this person has been taught by some coaching that please use connectors and he's blindly applying it. Don't do an excess of it. Alright, use connectors in a moderate way. Alright, then the third is, in your essay, is make essay objective. इसको थोड़ा कलर से लिख देते हैं, अभी ग्रीन कलर चूज कर लेते हैं. Let us choose green color. I will erase this also. Make essay objective. Why should we make essay objective? Because if I am having doubt that whether the essay is good or not, as an evaluator, I will try to see what are the points or dimensions that is covered by this person. Alright, making essay objective. देखो बढ़िया लग रहा है ना? making essay objective, how can we do this? You can always come up in between. If you are, let us say you have read so many editorials in your career or your journey of civil services preparation. Okay? You will see in the editorial article also, you will have sometimes something like firstly, secondly, thirdly. Even Shiv Shankar Menon's article, if you see, you will get firstly, secondly, thirdly. So please have that approach that farmers in India they do not get remunerative pricing. Okay? Firstly, secondly, thirdly, fourthly. So let us say I am seeing a question, I am seeing that dimension, and I am seeing that this person has given 4 points under it in a very abstract essay. But wisdom is, let's say there is a question on wisdom, there is an essay topic on wisdom, but wisdom is difficult to acquire. Let us say we have a quotation on wisdom, all right, that a man of wisdom is a man of truth. Very simple essay topic. A man of wisdom is a man of truth, but wisdom is difficult to acquire. All right. Now we have said this. Can we make some objective assessments with respect to it, that why wisdom is difficult to acquire? Then what could be the first reason why wisdom is difficult to acquire? You can always argue. A very common argument is that wise people will never say that they are wise and fools will always say they are wise. Right? You must have heard, ये तो observe भी किया होगा कि जो तेज है वो बताएगा नहीं कि वो तेज है, जो बेवकूफ़ होगा वो ज़रूर बोलेगा कि वो तेज है. Right? You must have heard this, that the wise will never tell that they are wise and the fool will always try to say that he is wise, isn't it? So therefore wisdom is difficult, but wisdom is difficult to acquire. First, you can always write some arguments, firstly, secondly, thirdly, 3 arguments you write about it only. That first, it is often difficult to find the company of wise. It is very likely that in pursuit of finding a wise man, we may meet a fool. All right, we may meet a fool who is preaching wisdom. Second, wisdom often comes with age and experience. All right, and third argument, whatever you can say. All right, so you make these objective, you make this essay objective. All right, make this essay objective. If you are writing that healthcare in India is suffering because of poor policies, or medical healthcare in India is suffering because of poor policies. Now you have said this, can you make it a little objective? What are the poor policies? Firstly, medical education is an extremely expensive affair thanks to Indian government policies. Stringent government policies require very high infrastructural and human resources demand for setting up a medical college. More than 100 faculties, 140 faculties. For how many doctors? 100 doctors batch. 140 faculties are required. Big 400 acres of, big hospital is required, medical college is required. All right, now 100 faculties can train 1,000 students, 10,000 students, but you will require 100 faculties to teach 100 students, right? So this is again troublesome. So you are justifying your stand. You are writing firstly, all right, that government policies require heavy infrastructural spending. Second is that, so you come up with all these points, whatever are your arguments. So while going through your body of the essay, I'm able to see these points distinctly, that okay, he has given 3 or 4 points here. So in between, try to adopt this policy. All right, then another with respect to the body is that whenever you provide criticisms in the body part, at the later part of it, do come up with some suggestions. All right. So this is for the body. Then how do we come with a conclusion? Now, how do we come with the conclusion of the essay? Writing a good conclusion. A good conclusion can be something like, it can sum up your essay. One of the approaches to sum up your essay. The second approach is refer back to introduction. You can refer back to introduction, and that is positive solution oriented note. and what is not, नहीं क्या करना है, न्यू आइडिया, कुछ नई बात कर दी कंक्लूजन में. आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ क्लोजिंग एंड स्लीपिंग, यू हैव टोल्ड मी अ न्यू आइडिया इन द कंक्लूजन, ये कर दिया. यू डोंट हैव टू डू दिस. हाउ कैन वी सम अप द, व्हाट कैन बी द लैंग्वेज व्हेन वी सम अप आवर एसे? You have written a essay on healthcare. What is ailing India's healthcare, or what is cause of poverty in India? You can sum up saying that thus it is, power. You can try summing up your essay saying that there are several social, political, and cultural factors behind poverty in India. Not only the forces of modernization that have caused inequality. Okay, as we can see that not only forces of modernization that has caused inequality in the society, pre-medieval societal structures are equally responsible for poverty. What is needed is societal and governmental steps, or working of governments together with civil society, with international funding, or with international cooperation and support, we can come up with a three-edged, or with the two-edged sword, we can fight poverty in India. And it is thus by fighting poverty we can fulfill the promises that were made by our forefathers when India got independence in 1947. Fighting poverty thus will not only help us meet the promises that our forefathers made to the nation when we got independence, right? Independence हुआ, हमने क्या कहा? When we got independence, what did you say? British are gone, now there is no problem, now we'll be rich. British were responsible for our poverty. British were responsible for our poverty, now they are gone. So therefore you will say what? You will say that now we can be rich, right? This is the promise. Now we are 70 years, 75 years होने वाले हैं. We are making a central vista also. Right, new parliament will get on 75th anniversary, and yet we have poverty in India, isn't it? So you're ending up saying something like this, that we will be able to meet the promises that our forefathers made, all right, promises that our forefathers made to the nation, and thus we can fulfill the promise. You can end up writing like that. You can end up saying that, you can come up with some more rhetoric statements like, for example, you have an essay on water, you can always end it like this, also saying that when man looks for life on Mars, he looks water first. This is because water is life. We must preserve, and there could be some should statements. Should say we must preserve, or we must preserve and XYZ like this. Or you can always have some new ideas like a chain is as strong as the weakest link. Indian society, or Indian people, the nation called India cannot progress as long as its farmers remain poor, because a chain is as weak as its, as a chain is as strong as its weakest link. I'm sorry, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. है ना, कोई जंजीर है कितनी मजबूत है, जो सबसे कमजोर कड़ी है उतनी मजबूत है. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. So we can come up with something like this. Another thing that you can do is refer back to the introduction. If you have started with an anecdote approach, you have said that Sita and Gita, you can always say, come back to the story. All right, after writing an entire essay on gender justice, gender empowerment, you can come back to the original story of Sita and Gita, and you can write something like Sita. So you can refer back to the story, you can think of some ideas, you can refer back to the story. If you have given up a scenario approach like cyber security, you can refer back to the story that the Indian economy did not collapse and the Indian government did not surrender to the act of cyber terrorism. The National Security Agency, or the whatever you can create an artificial body, that National Cyber Security Forces, all right, within no time took back the control from cyber terrorists, GPS signal was enabled, banking systems were back on power. All right, this was because an early policy and policy initiative way back 50 years back in 2020, the government had come up with a cyber army that would fight, not only defend, that would have both offensive and defensive powers against cyber defense. You can refer back to the introduction. Make sure that whatever you say is positive, solution oriented approach. All right, then the last thing, philosophical essays will not take it up. वो your philosophical essays mentor will take it up. Why people get less marks? 5 things, 6 things I would want to say here is 5, 6 things that I would want to take up here is, okay, one more thing is sentence construction and language competency. Yes, just 2, 3 rules here. The first rule is simple sentences. Simple sentences have to be used. Please use simple sentences. If it should be understood by a 10th level student, 10th class student को समझ में आनी चाहिए आपका essay. Why? Because you are going to be a part of a government job where you'll have to draft government communication, and that has to be understood by all the people. Simplicity of sentences. If you are reading a sentence and if you have to break the breath, if your breath, सांस उखड़े, एक सांस में पढ़ नहीं सकते, you cannot read the whole sentence in one breath, please break it. Be very clear with this. Break the sentence into 2. All right. Then flowery language is not as much required. Flowery language is not as much required. If you are writing too many words whose meaning examiner does not know, he will not give you the benefit of doubt. If you use very complex words, very difficult words, examiner Bhargav dictionary लेकर नहीं बैठेंगे. Examiner will not take Oxford or Bhargav dictionary, and complex words, difficult words, they are to be avoided. Simple, this is what is. Break a sentence into 2 as much as it is possible, nothing more than that is needed. All right, philosophical essays your philosophy mentor will take. Why people get less marks in essay? See, this is especially important is because, you know, some of our friends who have been trying for quite some time, they are unable to, just a moment, they are unable to score Yes. So why people get less marks in the essay? There are few set reasons for it. If you are somebody or you know somebody who's gotten less marks in essay more than once, then please check this checklist whether if this is the mistake that you are making. The first reason for getting less marks is deviation from topic. I will also tell you the solution. ये दूसरे रंग में solution लिख लेते हैं. Deviation from the topic. Second is one-dimensional yes or no. All right, what do I mean when I say deviation from the topic? The question is, let us say on poverty, you came up with an anecdote of Sita and Geeta, and then you left the poverty and you went together altogether different. So please ensure that you are not deviating from the topic. What is the solution for it? If you want to avoid deviation from the topic, please ensure that you refer back to the topic at least 2-3 times. Refer back to the topic. Topic को refer back करिए 2-3 times. Why should you refer back 2-3 times? Why should you refer back your topic 2-3 times? First, you and examiner. This is you, and this is examiner. Bigger head. Let us make him a bigger head. Both you will be convinced that there is no deviation. If you refer back to the topic, there is no deviation. You will be convinced there is no deviation. You will not deviate. You will not deviate if you just come back to the topic 2-3 times at least in the essay. An examiner will be convinced. All right, his perception is important. He will be convinced that essay topic refer kar raha hai, he is not deviating from the topic. All right, then second is one-dimensional yes or no. Is globalization dead? Or end of globalization. You have written yes, globalization is dead, and you have written a one-dimensional essay. Please remember, इसको समझने में कई साल लग जाते हैं. Sometimes there will be a question on India's backwardness, poverty or inequality. So you are thinking that whether it is poverty, whether it is inequality, and you say no, it is not poverty, but it is inequality. So please, when you, or is globalization dead? No, yes, globalization is dead. You have written an essay like that, you will not get marks in the commission. In an editorial in the newspaper, you will get good ratings. You will write a blog, you will get very good readership. All right, but if in commission you are writing an essay and you are writing yes, globalization is dead and these are the reasons, this is not accepted. What is expected is you say why globalization is dead. Even if you don't agree to this, adopt kar lo isko. Why globalization? Some people say that globalization is dead because trade war, whatever you have to say, nations closing there, and then you can say that why people are saying, and then you argue said why it is not dead. You write your arguments. Why it is not dead. One-dimensional essay is not required. The third is don't begin with conclusion. This is with GS also. Don't begin with conclusion. Conclusion से है ना begin नहीं करना है. Don't begin with conclusion. Arrive at the conclusion. Don't begin with the conclusion. Yes, globalization is dead. China US trade war. Nations closing boundaries. COVID is happening. Vaccine nationalism is happening. Therefore, globalization is dead. Don't say this. Please argue why you are saying that globalization is dead. Write arguments. However, globalization is not dead, and arrive at your conclusion. All right, arrive at a conclusion. Then another reason why people get less marks is because of inequitable, not being able to balance their times. All right, not able to balance what? The time or space to both the essays. If you are not able to do this, you will get less marks, because what happens is I develop an impression of you by reading your first essay, and then I don't meet the expectation in the second essay because you wrote the last essay in 30-40 minutes, then that is a problem. Alright, this is a very common idea. Alright, but what is not known is the next thing is too many ideas, old approach which I said, too many ideas. You have bombarded your essay with too many ideas. I have said that please have 5, 7, 9 major themes in your essay, not more than this. If you have 21 ideas, it will create a problem, at least in the current pattern. 1200 word में आप 2102 आपने 30-40 ideas लिख दिए हैं. It is difficult for me to grasp. I will not reward a candidate like that. Alright, then another is if you have too many grammar issues, as long as readability is not affected, I am not going to give, but too many grammar issues will be. And lastly, at least handwriting. If you have poor handwriting, extremely poor handwriting, and your mentor will tell you this, please work on your handwriting, get an expert support, work with a lexicographer. I think that is what is called a handwriting expert. He'll help you. I can tell you that this is a glass ceiling. If you have a poor handwriting, you will not go beyond a certain marks. This is proven for the past 7-8 years. I have seen this. All right. और last चीज़ जो बोलूँगा, please try to ensure, this is not a reason why people get less marks, but still what is I would say is, please use a dark pen. Don't write with a pen that where your writing looks very casual. Casual writing मत करिए. That you have used, please use a darker pen. It should, when I'm looking at your copy, the words should shine out of it. All right, so make sure that you do this. All right, this is all, friends. That is all. Thank you so much for attending the session, and I'll see you soon. All right, thank you so much.